Morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends. Welcome. We're Market here at SpartanTrading.com. It is Wednesday. Welcome to those of you who are joining us through our live YouTube stream. Enjoy. This is what we do Monday through Friday, as long as the market is open. We opine, we talk about the markets, technicals, macros, you name it, we do it. Okay. What do we got? I don't know. There's just times when like I said, this is why I stay hedged right now. And the hedges get bigger as we break support. And then, I use technicals to get out. I don't get out of stuff 100%. I always trim back. It's not all or nothing for me. There's nuances there. And I know how to hedge. So that's, the other side of it. Industrial profits. Japan, 108. Final, a little bit better, right? These are all final numbers, a little bit worse. Consumer confidence, a little bit worse. Right? Loans to households, 1%, no change there, year over year, nothing there, yada, yada. I don't understand how that, well, this is the companies, is lower than expected. Okay, they had a meeting. God bless their little hearts. Here we go. 30-year mortgage, 7.41. Don't forget there's a 2% spread between that and the 30-year, which is, anyway. Mortgage market index 189, yada, yada, yada. Applications down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then we do have some notable things coming out. We got the durable goods coming out. And then we have the EIA. Well, EIA is not, whatever. Anyways. I mean, you just, like I say, you just do not know. Right? Was there a drawdown yesterday? No, there was a build. So let's talk. Now, this is a fireside chat coming on your way right now. I marvel at the rhetoric about what's going on in the market when this happens ad nauseum for decades. This is what September looks like. This is why you sell in May, right? Anyways, but this is literally what it looks like, okay? And I don't understand. And you're seeing, because of the way in which the market has evolved, you're seeing more extensions than you would normally see in my market when I was growing up. Okay, this is not my market anymore by any chance. No way. And even in the last 10 years, this is not the way it was. And even in the last 5 years, this is not the way it was. Okay, just so you know. Okay, all right. And we won't know for another 1 to 2 weeks. The fact is, okay, this is fact, okay, until institutions feel that we are at a level that they want to buy certain types of equities, growth names, okay, we meander around whack-a-mole, one up, one down, one up, somebody else is up, somebody else is down, okay? This is, I do not, okay, my take is if you're going to sell equity, you're not going to buy bonds. You're going to buy like more money, money markets. You're going to buy fixed income type stuff. Okay, that's my personal opinion. Right, just because of the way in which the bonds move and stuff like that. Okay, you get yourself into a government overnight and you're getting 5+%. What's wrong with that? Just having cash in my account, that's what I'm getting in my brokerage accounts. Okay, I don't. This is the construct of inflation and how it impacts asset classes. And the construct is that this is going to cause, because of these higher rates than normal, that this will cause a deflationary cycle. I don't know. I don't think so. But and the reason why I don't think so is because of what's going on in terms of deglobalization. If we were in a world in which, everybody held hands and everybody was sharing equally, there was no supply chain disruptions, there were no tariffs being put on to make things more expensive on their exports. stuff like that, right? So I don't know what to tell you. Now, there's something coming up which I actually do believe is true in terms of these low float small caps within the structure of the Russell, the IWM. Okay, I think this is when you will start to see more money coming to that, because you can push these things around, these low floats, make 50, 75% money, within a blink on this stuff. All right, so just be aware of that. Okay, I mean, like Pixie today. Seriously, when was the last time anyone spoke this name? Okay, and it's up 127% today. Right? I mean, when was the last time I heard this name spoke at all? Just saying. I mean, that's what you got. Okay. All right. Police are after him. No good comes of that. China banner denies Ford has paused work on $3.5 billion project in Michigan. I don't know about that, right? Yeah, that's just a disgrace. They allow that to happen. Okay, that's drama. Yes, baby. This is what we got. I mean, will history repeat? Okay. So IWM. This is where you buy. Okay. I mean, literally, this is where you buy. Start to buy, and then you start to see it outperform and gain. I mean, look, it's been taken to the woodshed. Toad feathered, you might as well just, stomped on, a building fell out at. I mean, this is the IWM of epic proportion, mind you. Okay, so basically, that's what I'm saying. You buy here, and you buy here. Entry long, 177.56. We'll see. But I actually did agree with this. But just think about what's in here, right? So a lot of baby bios, all that kind of stuff, and you got the financials. Okay, what retail investors are buying? Dividend investing, 50%. Is what they're buying right now. Commodities, AI, total stock market index, dividend investing. Like I said, why be stressed when you can get 5%, 5+ for some places? Some states are paying 7% on some of the CDs and stuff like that. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff out there. I don't know if that's an article or not. Anyways, unusual puts. We X. Yeah, I saw those. Yeah, PACW, Amazon, and then here are the calls: AMD, Apple, KVUE. There's a lot of action in this KVUE, FYI. Square. That's anyways. Yeah, we'll see how things play out. Okay, so I think this is my narrative right now. I've been hedged for this month, and I did a pretty damn good job of guiding you guys with these hedges coming in, right? Because of seasonality for this month. I think I did an excellent job. I mean, and I know some of you follow me. Okay, so this is what I start to do. We've got key pivot levels that we know about. Okay, I know that seasonality flips. Okay, starting this week, and next week on the tech side. Okay, so what I still have my hedges. Well, I'm going to do this in the class. I'm not going to tell you. I'm sorry. I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm doing a special webinar, so I'm not going to. Okay, this is it. This is it. This is what everybody's got their shorts and a twist about. This is 1987. We're not in 1987. Okay, this is not 1987. This is what everybody has their shorts and a twist about. This waterfall event. And people are placing pretty good bets on this happening. What a bull market. I mean, and within bull markets, you have micro bear markets, right? And the overall thing of things, right? There's so much that has to happen still, right? Yeah, all the Chargers are up. Thanks, Roger. So, yeah, I'm just saying, come on. Anyways. All right. Is this not remarkable? You've got the price down 48%, and yet here we are, buyers, buyers, buyers. We're starting to see the drawdown, but look at this. This is this. From 2021, this is what they've been doing, and they lost 48% on that investment. You're not a hedge. And you know me, I told you about hedging big time, right? So, am I willing to take off those hedges? I don't know yet, but I am nibbling on some ZRZ. Okay, that's my look. Once again, I love this leverage stuff. That's what I like to do. That's what I specialize in, and I, pretty good with it. Junk bonds. Let's see who reclaims this. Okay. I mean, yeah. Look, it's not a pretty picture. Okay, and there's a gap to fill right here. I understand this, but this is weak seasonality. And guess what? October, November, December kick ass for the semis. Right? Which manufacturing could. Cheddar flows. Let's see what Cheddar has to say. Gauge bond market volatility remains elevated. Duh. I mean, this is a new paradigm for those who've been. I mean, I said in the late 70s. I've never seen anything like this. The standard deviation moves on a day-to-day basis are just absolutely. In my day, when I first started, it would take 6 months to a year. You guys are doing it in 15 minutes. It's crazy. Just crazy. And don't forget, we also have these, these lottos that we've got every day on the indices. It's just crazy. Big money being chopped around here, right? Keep climbing. Yeah. Oh, no doubt. So what do we pine for this gap? That's what we pine for, this gap. That's what we want. We don't want it like that. Luxury stocks are the year-to-date gains. Yeah, I mean, look, this is a no-brainer. Now you have to do, and look, South Beach has talked about this ad nauseum, okay, in terms of the region. What I think, in my personal opinion, it's not worth it. I mean, me personally, this is what I think they go to a Dollar General. I think they go to a Dollar Tree. This is what I think people will start heading towards. So we'll see if this is a buying opportunity or not in those names. But anyways, it's just, what can I tell you? Kashkari, the Fed was not trying to tighten financial from its recent forecast. Really? 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 Look, even, I hate this Fed. I hate Powell. I hate the incompetency. They're just not the brightest of the bright. Okay. A lot of things have happened because of their incompetence. They did too much on the quantitative easing. Now they're doing too much on the quantitative tightening. Okay. Okay. Their lack of understanding. Okay. They have to blink. Okay. And the reason why they have to blink is they are causing a debt refinancing spiral that's going to cost the government a lot of money. And you've got sovereign nations selling our bonds to say, okay, I'm done. Okay. Right. And putting it elsewhere. Not because they're going to get a higher yield, because they need the money. It's reallocation of global assets that's going on, right? This is what's going on, okay? And there comes a point in time where you have to say, do no harm. And their irresponsibility in what they said at the last FOMC basically put everybody in, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Oh, damn it all. Okay. Right. This is what it looks like when you say, oh boy, this is not what I thought would happen. Okay. Bonds are an asset class, guys. If you're selling assets, you're selling assets. Okay. They thought, well, the stock market, right? But guess what? Yippee. Look what's going on in the bond market. Do no harm. Just do no harm. Hopefully the Fed has done enough on the rates, but we don't know. Yeah, bite me. Higher oil prices won't alone warrant more rate hikes. You see, this is someone who's just calming, saying, I'm coming out. I'm calming. Crude is just going crazy bat right now. See what happens there. I added to my gush. I still have my hedges on. I added to my UCO. I'm back in it. I had a really tiny, tiny piece. I'm back in there. In inflationary times, historically speaking, it's a 75% statistical probability. I showed you that yesterday. People will go into the oil sector. That's my story. Because you're looking at competitive yields and higher oil prices. I mean, seriously, come on. Right? Okay. Evelyn, what you got to say? She's also boots on the ground. Nothing much. All right, let's see what our friend at Winsmart. Really smart dude. Non-manufacturing unfilled orders. That's from 500 members. Good. Oh, look at that. Above. Look at this. Good golly, Miss Molly, since July. Okay? This is a problem. This is that narrowness and breadth that I keep talking about. All right? Until that resolves itself, you're going to have pullbacks when the Mag 7 no tech comes in. This is what it looks like. Concerned loans as a percentage of overall market. You have to sometimes choose the lesser of two evils. Okay. And the Fed has to realize this. Central banks globally, this 2% paradigm is irresponsible and is not realistic, and it's not historically appropriate. The only way you got that was quantitative easing. You've been quantitative easing since 2008. That's the only way you got to 2%. Chinese investors lift gold price premium over world market to record level. Chairman of Evergrande has been arrested. Top copper, Chile, Peru, it's all right? United States, Russia, Mexico, but Chile. I'm in copper, I'm in that. I'm in all of these industrial metals. I don't care. I mean, just gonna happen. Okay. You can't, when you're doing commodities, if you can't be patient, you can't do commodities. Why? The surging dollar and treasury yields spell trouble for stocks. Okay, well, we know. We know. Okay, we know. But once again, I'm in this UDN, okay? Right? And I'm down less than 1%. And I'll keep buying. The thing is the dollar, okay? Well, when you move 0.25%, that's a big deal, right? Shutdowns really small areas this time could be worse. I'll be honest with you. If we shut down, I'm not flying out. So, I'm supposed to fly out the day after, 2 days after. Oh, no can do. I remember when they shut down and they worked. Oh my God, it was horrible. Plus, they don't have enough staff. Anyways, it's UAW members, Meta headset. Oh, what do we got? City, not up to date. There we go. We'll report here next week with extra wildcards in the mix. Whether shutdown sell-off looks different. Palantir, $250 million. I like Palantir. I keep buying it. Everybody keeps selling it. I said, I don't understand why I'm buying it. Okay. I like it. All right. don't have a big position in it, but this is the one that my Victor, that one I told you is really, really, really bright. I think he's out of the UK. I mean, this is his AI trade. This is talented. Anyways. Said to be close to acquiring Israeli cyber security stocks for 1 billion. God bless. Said to be working with OpenAI on a hardware project. Among pre-market losers, Morgan Stanley acts on mid-cap banks. Higher for longer rates scenario. Sans Apple is defended by bulls. Look, you know, I have a hedge on Costco. It's been a great run, but this is what Costco does, okay? It has these monster runs, okay? Don't let us not forget, I'm long this below 500, okay? Right? You know, anyways, this is what Costco does. You buy, you sell, you trim, and then you buy back on dips. It's just how it works with Costco. Well, let's go to Wall Street Journal. Let's see what these friends have to say. I think you're going to see a lot of bankruptcies. Look, this is what this is. There's a huge disconnect right now, like between what we do and what we see versus what the every person does. Okay, fixed expenses are huge. Rent alone, food's not going down. I haven't seen any food stuff go down. I go in and I look at this stuff and I say, Jesus Christ. Okay. So, you know, I just think that we have to understand what's going on, right? What government, yeah, nothing's going to happen. American soldiers are asking to be deported to North Korea. All right. Let's see what our friends are doing here. Yeah, blink. But I mean, it's kind of they're competing. They're competing against Tesla. Okay, I don't know about you, but I don't see any blink charging going on out there. I don't understand. I know, it's crazy. Pixie, like I say, when's the last time we saw that? I'm just saying, come on. All right, let's go. This is what we look at. Remember how for months and months and months I say how stupid can we be? The smartest guys in the room, these bond guys, these institutions, they are still, okay, there is no way we get here unless we hit a deflationary cycle. Zero chance. Zero chance. Okay, we get here unless we hit a deflationary cycle. BLDP, I don't see it because my narrative is totally different in terms of commodities, right? I just don't see it. But anyways, this is what it looked like yesterday. NVIDIA had this is a lot for NVIDIA funds. A lot of hedging came in. This was that 4.8 million I told you about, 360s. Oh, someone bought a hedge. Okay, what do we got? Anything big? No, not really. 13, 101 million. That was that high peak. Not much. I mean, it's something 1.1 million ADC. Okay. So president CEO only bought 561. This one bought 1.1. I don't know what to tell you. ELVN Dino. This is Sinclair. I trade around this name a lot. And I am looking to get back into it. Okay, because I did a great job. I sold it at the high. So I'm looking at getting back into it. I actually bought it back in May. Oh, we'll see. I haven't decided. I got a lot on, so I'm not so sure. Zscaler. So this is what you expect. Pay yourself. What's wrong with that? Path, team, right? This is tied to options. All right. A lot of initiations, WEC Energy. So we're starting to see more eyes on some of these energy names, right? Levi Strauss, some retail stuff. CRISPR, so, you know. Mattel, I mean, this is a new person at UBS. Blink. Okay. Robert Jameson is a new hire at UBS, has no accuracy, and everybody's going crazy over this dude with Blink. Robert, look, he's a new hire at UBS. Seriously, friends, he charge point. Seriously, I get so frustrated with what moves this market sometimes. People just don't do their research. They don't know. Why would you follow someone who has no track record? Zion got a downgrade, ICPT, and Sibilant. Buy to neutral, no price change, a little bit higher, and okay, so basically that tells you that. None of these have lower price targets, so whatever. All right, XPO, I actually like this, Evercore. Outperform. JKHY, Jack Henry Y, I haven't heard that name before. Garden Health, GH, Piper. Vacuum. No. I do know this, though, when you're doing swings and stuff like that, friends, you do want to be, you know, in the upper quadrant here. You don't want to be in the mid. Okay, especially for swings. I mean, that's just not a good way to move forward in your life. Okay. Global markets, United Healthcare Funds starting up again. Watch that name. This has been really accurate of late. The seasonality on the on UNH has been working really well. I might, we'll see if we can break this resistance level. I'm long it from 483. Okay. I sold some, and now I'll buy back some more and overweight it again if we can. Choose Financial, Albemarle, we know that. ConocoPhillips, Hanover, TBS, Tesla still. Okay, this really hasn't changed. It needs to start changing. Okay, I don't like that at all. All right. Once again, okay, October, Qs, SPY, IWM, Dow, okay, XLY, XLP, XLF, XLV, XLB, XLK, right? All of these have strong seasonality, okay? XOT, SOX, right? And then, you know, with the SOX, okay, the semis, NVIDIA, okay? All right, October, November, December. Taiwan, so October, NVIDIA, October, November, December. AMD is November, December. Okay, October, November is Qualcomm. MU, right? AMAT, LOCX, ADI, right? Marvell. No, CLAC, okay? So I don't think SM is that on here? Oh, yeah, it is. This is free for those of you looking at it, and you can, you know, I don't care about 10 years. I don't care. So January, February, May, small June, July, August, no, September, no, October, November, December. As you can see here, November, December, January is really strong for SMCI. Okay. I'm just, you know, talking out loud. Right? All right, let's see what's going on here now. Okay. Sectors, green, green, green. This heat map funds, this is a big deal. Okay. Volatility, this is a big deal. The sea of green. Okay, this is statistically a high probability we're going to get a bounce off this extent. This is an extension, no clear. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, right? I mean, that should make sense to everybody. Industrials, money coming out, money coming into energy, real estate. Okay. Okay. All right. Euro dollar up, 2-year, well, that's a no-brainer, right? Consumer discretionary, down, 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 down. Nifty 15 Sensex, only one, and this is really mild, right? Everything reset globally. It's a global reset. Okay. Corn, lumber all on down. What's going on? Cocoa, orange juice, cattle, sugar. Okay. And then dollar optimism index and US dollar. Let's see what's going on with the AII. Whether it came out yet or not. Okay. No. This should be getting down to a level of interest. Okay. Right. Well, below the historical average, right? In terms of bullish sentiment. And I'm sure the fear and greed. Okay. Let's look at this. I have found with this index, FYI, when it's in the 10 to 20 is a great buying opportunity. Okay. So everybody's paying attention, I guess, is the Reader's Digest version of this. And you can see right here, look at this sea green. This is a extension on the short time frame. You can see it 3, 5 days, all extensions, okay? And then a little bit, but 0 to 5 days is why this is showing up, right? And that would make sense to me because of the sell-off at the beginning in the last 2 days. Okay. There's no question, Roger, that these smart businesses are going to become lean and mean. You know what that means. That's how they offset it, right? Okay, so here we go. This is the NASDAQ. Here we are. These tend to be bullish. Well, let me put it this way. I mean, less bearish, okay? All right, but if you look at the S&P, it also shows a little bit of a bounce coming. Okay, and then Russell just for shits and giggles. This is actually a strong time for it. Right, you can see that. Okay. All right. Okay, this is the thing. Now, the Russell really actually doesn't get any strength until the middle of the month, next month. This is all about tech, NASDAQ, okay? You can see this, right? Front of the month, literally going out, this is 22 days. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red days, and the rest are slightly with a positive, right? And then you have a little bit, yeah, okay? Look, if I'm using this and other seasonality charts that I look at, right? If this is what got us into the hedge for September, right? And this is what it did. It got us into the hedge for September. And I actually, this is it. This is what it looks like, right? Right. If this got us into the hedge that we're in for September, right? It's all about risk reward. If I'm going to use this to hedge, well, then I also have to use this to start to, I'm not taking off my hedges. What I'm doing is I'm counterbalancing it. And then what I'll have is, no, anyways, I'm not going to talk. Just keep forgetting I'm doing this class. I can't talk about that. All right. Large trader call buying. Okay, you can see rolling over, right? Now, don't forget, okay, this is what we saw when we were in the bull market phase, right? This rally right here, okay? That's what we saw. We didn't see this sort of all-in narrative. This is what it looks like all in, right? For this phase off of the October lows for last year, which is a divergence for those of you who are keeping track, right? Large trader put buying. Once again, this is telling us that they've got the 1 foot on first base trying to steal second. Oh, did you see Brooks Robinson passed away? My God. I don't know. Sandy Koufax, Brooks Robinson, these are just, I don't know. I know that South Beach was big in baseball, and anyway, small trader call buying. They never bought this. He said, I'm done. They started getting out here. Now, in this regard, right? Maybe they're not as dumb as they seem. Just saying. And here's the put buying. Like I say, they never bought into this rally. Now, granted, they've been losing money, but doesn't take much for things to get going. Also, divergence here. All right. So okay, so this is the pivot point right here, right? If we break below that, then we're going to be going down, right? So that makes sense to everybody. Small business optimism. Wow, this hasn't been updated, has it? I guess they're not optimistic. All right, this is important as well. Okay, this is insider buys. Okay, so seasonally adjusted, right? Someone's been buying. Okay. What sectors, I don't know, but this does tend to portend a rally in the market when they're buying. Okay, and they bought it off of, right? I don't know. XOK breath, this is the no-brainer. This is so extended, friends. I mean, really extended. Like this is going to bounce extension, right? This is pretty lofty stuff. This is more bullish than anything else when you get to these levels here on this extension on the breath side. Okay, this means we're going to get a bounce. Okay, and that's the front end. So that's just a greater than 10-day average percentage, right? Nil, basically. Right? So just pay attention to that. That's why this is all the things that I look at. Okay, we're not quite there on the farther end, but this would be like South Beach's oscillator, right? It's more meaningful the extension on the downside than on the upside, right? It's Keynesian theory 101. You don't pick tops, right? But these indicators are good with the extension bottoms. Right? So that's all I'm saying on that one. Okay. Let's see if those oxycalls work for us. I went with the 65, so let's see what happens with that. They'll open nice, I think. Anyways, and here's the 200. Now, we're also getting to levels of some levels that we want to see hold. It broke this one. You can see that. Let's do 1 year. Okay. So it broke this one. So these are the next levels down. Okay. On these, you would look, and basically this is the mid. Okay, that's what you on this pullback, you would want to see the mid hold. That's how you read these things. Fund flows. Not what you would expect, right? I mean, on the XLK, I mean, nothing really going on here. But don't forget, all of these ETFs, they never rebalance. The NASDAQ was the only thing. So that's something not okay. Once again, short-term bounce coming. This is the 10-day, right? And you saw that pictorially in the other one, right? Okay, and this is what it looks like as well. This is the 50-day. Okay, that's notable. Okay, and this is the 200. So the extension here on the XLY, and that's consumer discretion. Now, the top two holdings are Amazon and Tesla. I understand that, but there's a lot of other things in here that have been pulling it down, right? I mean, that's not just, it's consumer discretionary, right? And you can see here, where's my XLY fund flows? Here we go. So piling in and some pullbacks, but see? So this is why this is some people, especially if it's short-term money and they don't have thick skins, this is when they start to scream for the mamas. Here's XLI fund flows, you can see that. Industrials are, it's all over the place. Right? I have a small position and I don't care. XLE is starting to see, This one, this is a conviction trade. Okay. I just, this is just the setup, right? That we look for. I mean, for me, you know, how this works. I can't explain it to you. This is just how I just know this is what it looks like. Okay. Money, it's just statistical probability, right? Nobody, institutions do not own oil names. Or if they do, it's so light, it's inconsequential. Remember, they all got out of it. They all made this. And I remember
Beth
when.
ready to pop on here whenever. Alrighty, guys. Morning. What's going on? Let me just pop up the screen share. We'll get right into it. Thank you, Beth, as always. Alrighty, guys. So what's up? Let's just pop this screen share up here. We'll get right into it. Like I said, there it is. So, you guys new to chat, however you've done so, make sure to click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. You're going to pop in a chat. It's going to look something a little bit like this. First area to go to when you guys do come in, disclaimer section, click on that, give it a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section, scroll to the very, very top. Top of the section, you got a link to the disclaimer as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both. In regards to risk reward, guys, click on this, go through this section. You got a breakdown of, you know, basically the risk reward profiles to use, risk reward calculator, which you can use to put in place alongside that risk reward profile, so you can calculate risk reward and go really quickly. Definitely worth going through. Most important ratio on trading. Continue to scroll down. We have summary of how this chat works, breaks all these channels work on the left-hand side, so you can properly navigate the chat throughout the day. That is important, so you know where to be looking. Continue to scroll down. We have how to read alerts on the options and equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Below that, options rules that we like to use Monday to Thursday in regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, trading different price contracts, etc., etc. Continue to scroll down. SPX rules that we use every single day. Below this, anyone with a small account less than 10K, breaking down. If you have a smaller account less than 10K, here's some rules, information. Discipline you can put in place to get better manage your account. How to pick ideas from an options or equity perspective. Then last but not least, high conviction small account trades posted in that area when they do make sense. All right, let's take a look at pre-market tickers on watch. What do we got going on today? So Tesla, cost, MSTR, NEP, BHVN, and NYC. So let's take a look here. So we got Tesla gapping up in sympathy with the market, Costco gapping up on earnings beat, MSTR gapping up in sympathy with Bitcoin, NEP, Next Era Energy Partners revised limited partner distribution per unit growth expectations to 5 to 8% a year, gapping down on that. BHVN includes pharma dynamic updates for BHV 1300 companies showing greater than 90% reductions in its LGG after repeat dosing at its incorporated heroin by reference, gapping up on that. And then NYC announces today that it launched a tender offer to purchase up to 350,000 shares of American Strategic Investment Company. Common stock at a price of $10.25 per share, and it's gapping up on that. Let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint intraday. I'm just going to pop this back up here. We'll get right into it. Loading up there, my friends. There it is. Okay, good. So let's take a look at the first two guys, Costco and Tesla. All right, 247.45 pivot level was able to hold. We got room towards the 256.32 to 266.28. Unable to hold 240.25 to 233.71 on the downside. On testing, gonna be leaning bullish. I'm actually gonna be looking for a reclaim of that 247.45 for a push higher. Acted really well yesterday with the pullback. Nice relative strength. I think we can push back up. Let's take a look at this Costco. Okay. That should be good. All right, 543.43 pivots. 543.43 pivots to the upside today. Level hold to 545.92, 549.52. Unable to hold. We got room back towards the 539.83 to 537.22 on the downside. I'm going to be leaning on the bearish neutral side today if that pivot point is unable to hold. That is Costco. That is Tesla. All right, let's take a look at the next two names here, guys. We got MSTR and NEP. All right, let's take a look at this MSTR here. So you got a little bit of a downtrend break off the lows, slight little push back to the upside here. I do like the look of this off the lows, which is why I chose to put it on the board. That 305 level, okay. 321.18 pivot to the upside today. Levels able to hold. You got room towards 328.44, 336.31. Unable to hold 314.21 to 305.85 on the downside. Leaning bullish if we can hold above that pivot. I think we can get actually a decent little push to the upside today. Let's take a look at NEP. All right, 40.68 pivots to the downside today. Levels unable to hold. 39.29 to 37.94. Able to hold. We got room towards 42.52 to 44.18 on the upside. Overall on NEP, going to be leaning bearish, looking for continuation lower to the downside today. Got that weekly range break to the downside. You got more room for continuation, in my opinion, because of that. So we'll see what happens there. That's MSTR. That is NEP. All right, let's take a look at the next two. BHVN and NYC. Okay. Let's keep this on the daily here for BHVN. So 20.08 pivot to the upside today. Level holds 20 98 to 2187, unable to hold 1927 to 1850 on the downside. Gonna be leaning bullish neutral there for a continuation push higher if that pivot point's able to hold. Let's take a look at this NYC. All right, so NYC pivot upside today. 894 level holds, 953, 1021. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards that 847, 799, 753 level. Going to be leaning on the bearish neutral side, looking for a pop topping short the name on the NYC. All right, let's take a look at the SPY and the FANG. Screenshot these two bad boys. All right, so what do we got next? The SPY and the FANG. So market obviously extended to the downside here into that 426 level on the downside, which we talked about yesterday. It's getting a little bit of a bounce already. It doesn't need much actually to fill the gap. Pivot 428.41 levels able to hold. You got room back towards the, let's go last day high level. 420.94 to 431.39. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards 425.94 if that level breaks 428. Or sorry, 422.98 on the downside. Going to be leaning on the bullish neutral side out the gate, looking for a little bit more of a bounce, and then I think we can roll over in the afternoon. Kind of what I'm thinking there, you know, a little bounce, rollover type of action. Fill the gap essentially, and then continue on our path lower. Apple, which has been fairly resilient at this range. Did break it yesterday. We'll watch for a retest today. 171.91 pivot level holds, 173.75 to 176.82. Unable to hold 170.34 to 168.28 downside. Any bullish neutral. Take a look at Amazon. Amazon pivot 125.24. This level is unable to hold. You got room for continuation towards 122.62. Able to hold 128.94 to 131.82. It's leaning bearish neutral, looking for a continuation lower. Uh, 381.10 on Netflix pivot to the downside today. Levels able to hold 387.88, 395.22. Unable to hold 376.99 to 369.65 on the downside. You're leaning a little bit more on the bullish neutral side today, looking for a little bit of a push higher. It's done a pretty good job of holding this range. Yes, it's, you know, pulled back a little bit yesterday, but it still did hold above that weekly range essentially. So I'm thinking that we can a slight bounce today if that pivot's reclaimed and holds. Let's take a look at Meta. Grittered and 31 on Meta. Pivot to the upside today. The hold 302.70, 305.47. Unable to hold 296.18, 292.97 on the downside. leaning a bullish neutral there. Let's take a look at Google. All right, 129.03 pivot to the upside today. Level holds 130.71 to 132.33. Unable to hold 128.03 to 126.27 on the downside. I'm going to be leaning on the bearish neutral side of Google here, looking for a continuation lower if that 129 level cannot hold. Alrighty, guys, so that's a SPY. That's the thing. Those are the individual names that we're looking at today. Going to go ahead and pass it over to South Beach while I type up that pre-market action plan, and then we'll do a quick little recap before the open. South Beach, if you're ready, she's all yours for now, my friend.
Okay. Hey guys. All right, let's look at the indexes, see what we got. Okay. Been a little bit of damage. So the daily on the S&P is a sell. There's good support for the S&P at like the 420 level. So as long as it holds that, it's probably okay. Will it? I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Right. Let's look at the Qs. Basically the same chart. The daily looks terrible. Okay, really, really bad. And the weekly, we don't have a 1017 cross on either the S&P or the Qs. There's support here at 340 with the 50-week moving average. And, you know, the market, my oscillator is at what? Minus 48, which is not terrible, but we've had a bunch of days down, so a little bit of bounce isn't surprising, but I don't think the market's that healthy, technically. And, you know, you saw the advanced decline lines, which I've been telling you every day, you know, new high-low list is crappy. Technicals are kind of crappy, but, you know, oversold bounces are going to happen, right? So I think that's what this is. Let's look at the Russell. All right. This one is just terrible, guys. I mean, you got support because we have 1, 2, 3 bot, you know, it's bounced like 3 or 4 times off this one, I don't know, 70, 168 level. So if it would break that, I would get really, you know, a little more bearish. Let's put it that way. And the last one was that transport average, which took a drubbing yesterday, but it still has support here. This is the level of support, like right here, 14.8 on the weekly. The daily is terrible. So we have really every moving average. The daily is broken, you know, just terrible. Weeklies have been holding. I go by weeklies. Transports have to hold these levels. If they don't, I think they go right to 14,000. And if they break that, it looks pretty crappy. Okay. So technically, I think the market, you know, isn't in great shape. We're getting a good bounce off the bottom. You know, maybe these, you know, levels hold on the weekly. We'll see. And, you know, that's really it. So I'm neutral to bearish, and we'll see if these things hold. All right. I have no shorts. I covered my shorts yesterday. All right. Let's look at the bond market. So we have the long end of the curve, lower rates this morning. So that's giving a little bit of reprieve here. All right, 449 in the 10-year. I think the high was what, like 454, 455. So if we break that, I think the market takes another leg down. If it holds that level, then that's a whole nother story. All right. 210 spread is what, 51, 56. So that's the lowest level we've seen in quite a while. And that's the bond market. So the bond market in Europe, really kind of the same. We have the long end of the curve coming in a little bit. Short end of the curve is a little more stable. And that's the bond market today, by and large. Okay. Looking at commodities, we have oil ripping, another $1.80, 92 bucks. That is problematic for inflation. It's one of many things that go into the equation, but you know, we use a lot of oil in this country, and That's up from what, 70 in a hurry. So, that's concerning. Well, we were at what, 68 in July, and now we're at 92. So there you go. Natural gas refuses to move. Copper acts kind of heavy-ish at the bottom of its trading range. I'm reading a lot of stuff on copper, and it's all pretty bullish. And I'm just looking for the right level to get involved, to be honest. I guess the best way to play it is FCX for me. I mean, it is a pure play. Well, they do have some gold, but it's purer than anything else I can think of. If someone's got something better, let me know. As far as the agricultural commodities, they really haven't been eventful. So let's just move on from that. Currency-wise, dollars mixed against North America, up against the yen, up a tinch against China, 731. This euro's down to 105 level and 121 on the pound. So their currencies have been pretty heavy. Crypto, we got Bitcoin up almost 2%, Ethereum up 2%. So good bounce there. And the foreign markets, what do we have? FTSE dead flat, DAX dead flat, France dead flat, Nikkei almost dead flat, China dead flat, and Hong Kong is up 0.8. Okay, Taiwan is up 0.2. So pretty quiet as far as movement's concerned. Okay, so there you go on that. And I see these oil stocks rallying on this move here. Okay, so we have the banks and the Fed. We had this Neil Kashkari on this morning. We've heard him speak before. Basically, he spent a lot of time talking about what the neutral rate should be. And his body language was the neutral rate might be a little higher than it is here. But it takes time. He didn't say this, but we know it takes time for these things to run through the economy. Okay, these rate increases. So, wait and see is probably the best bet. It's 80-20 now that they won't increase rates at the November meeting. And this guy says maybe one more hike before year end. So that would mean the December hike, but we'll see. I mean, a lot can change between now and then. I don't think they have any clue what they're going to do in November. And I don't think they have any clue as to what they're going to do in December. It's going to be based on the numbers, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so that's the banks and the Fed. We have China, not a whole lot out of there, except they arrested the guy who ran this Evergrande, billionaire guy. And you don't want to be wrong in China, okay, because you're going to go he's under house arrest. God knows what that means, but that's the story. Russia, crypto, Mr. Market yesterday. So market yesterday had very few places to hide. There was really no good group. There was only degrees of crappiness. And the transports got smoked for 282 points. S&Ps, NASDAQ, Dow, all down like 1.5%. FANG was soft. IPE tech, HMOs, hospitals, REITs, insurance. These REITs have been a bit heavy as of late, of course, because of the higher rates, right? These guys have a debt to equity ratio. I was going through them yesterday, like a good case would be like 6, 7, 8 to 1, so they have a lot of debt on their books, and higher rates don't help the situation much. All right, so I told you about Kashkari. What else did he say? He was concerned that consumer spending is still strong, employment levels are still high, oil prices have been going up, and that's what, he was talking about that in conjunction with, a higher neutral rate. So we'll see. Okay, so that's where his body language is more on the higher for longer camp, like we've been seeing. So plans to fight any SEC case against it. Okay. What else do we have? We have a Manhattan judge found the Trump organization is liable for fraud. Basically, they revoked the Trump organization corporate charter. That's been done historically one other time. So that's a big to-do. And Now what happens is they would go to liquidate the company, but there's going to be a million appeals, and that thing would probably take years. And if he became president, what would that do to the equation? I don't know. So all you can garner from this is the legal, he spends a lot of time in court. Let's put it that way. All right. Call it what you want, and let's move on. Elon Musk, this was the most interesting thing I read today. Okay. Elon Musk says the UAW strike demands will drive the big three into bankruptcy. Think about that for a second, guys. And I think he's right. Okay. I think that's a really, really important point from a guy who sees things a lot better than most of us. All right. And then you have Biden over there protesting with these guys. And then I looked into the fact that I said to myself, well, if I was CEO, what would I do? And I said, I would fire everybody and hire new guys. Right. But that's against the law. So they're kind of sort of between a rock and a hard place. And I do believe that if they meet the UAW demands, they will be out of business, because look at what their competition pays. It's all about, margins in every business. And if your margins, you don't have any margins, you're finished. And margins at Tesla, their main competitor, because everybody's moving into EV. Look at Tesla. They have better technology. They have no legacy payments on older employees. They pay their employees less. They are more efficient, and they have a better product. What does that mean for Ford and GM? It's just the death knell for these guys, as far as I'm concerned. And then they got to pay their people more. I agree with everything he said, and I think that's really important. Dan Niles had a piece out. I think Rob actually put it on the thing on the site late yesterday. I just want to go over what he said because it resonates with me somewhat. He covered his shorts. Of course, he's always right? This guy's never wrong. But let's look at what he said. Okay, he sees a near-term bounce, and then they're going to roll over. He's negative long-term because of concerns. What are his concerns? Lagged rate height impacts. Number one, inflation staying higher for longer. Number two, the higher oil prices. Number three, loan repayments start. Number four, and high valuations for equities. Okay, I think everything he said I agree with. And these high valuations, what do you need for it to improve? You need better earnings. And in this environment, it's hard to see that earnings are going to be much better than expectations, but we'll see. Okay, earnings probably start in a week or two, and we'll see how the numbers shape up. Okay, Target is closing 11 stores or 9 stores or whatever the hell it is because of looting. Okay, and they call it organized looting, organized crime, whatever they want to call it. I mean, the question that I have is, what does this actually say about our society? When someone can walk in with a group of people, steal you blind, walk out with no repercussions. This is not the America I grew up with. And I think it's a disgrace. And everybody turns a blind eye to it. And someday this is going to come home to roost, guys, where there's no law and order. And it's a very sad situation. And I think that's really important stuff. You may think it's fine and dandy. I don't know. But I don't understand. Rule of law is, if we don't have that, what do we have? Anyway, let's move on from that. We had this Lena Khan on this morning talking about Amazon. Okay, and she's going after them for antitrust and all this other shit. All right, first of all, she's had 2 big cases in the last 2 months. She lost them both. Okay, she's way out over her skis. I think the job is way too big for this woman. Regardless of what that means, let's look at the individual situation. I was reading a piece last night that said Amazon, if in fact they lose and are broken up, the stock goes to 180. If they win, the stock goes high. I kind of think of this Amazon as a win-win situation. All right, let it do what it does because people don't want to be in it for whatever reason. It's like, I almost think it's similar to if Warren Buffett passed. I think the stock goes up on the news, not down. Because if they were to break up the company, it would probably be worth a lot more than it's trading at. So my read on it is I don't think Amazon's going to lose, number one. And if they were to lose, I don't think the stock goes any lower. So I think you're in a win-win situation with Amazon. I think it's a fantastic company with fantastic management, a fantastic space. And with all the looting and nonsense going on in the retail space, their position just gets stronger. So that's how I see it. Now, people are selling it because of whatever reason, but I think they're wrong. That's my read. After reading a bunch on it and hearing her speak, and I think she's going to lose. I think, that's how I think it plays out. All right. Hollywood writers' strike is now over. So now we have a strike by the Las Vegas strip workers. It just doesn't stop. Okay. Every union is emboldened. They're going after whomever, getting as much as they can. And that's the situation we're in. Okay. So we have that one now. London office vacancies running at a 30-year high. What else do we have? Ukraine, they said they killed this big general of the head of the Navy for Russia. It appears as though they did not. And that's the story with that. Bernstein is out there saying that the death of crypto is not coming. They say that Fidelity and BlackRock getting into the business will enhance Bitcoin's appeal, and I agree with them 1,000%. You don't have to worry about your coins getting stolen. You can trade the thing readily. I think it's a fantastic. If you're a Bitcoin person, I think it couldn't be a better outcome for them. There's also a bill for the pot thing going through, that they can do banking going through the Senate, I think today. So I think that'll help them somewhat, but I think the industry it seems as though they're not doing so great. That's all I know. Okay. Copper, I told you there was an article on that. What else is going on? I think I hit most of the things that I meant to talk to you about. The must thing is the one that resonates most with me, guys. It really does. Individual names, okay? On the long side, we have earnings in Miller Knowles, which I'm surprised they beat numbers because, furniture doesn't appear as though it would be in such great shape, but they did. AAR was good. Then you had positive PR for CRDF, HAWY, J-Bill sold the business for $2.2 billion. CHPT got an upgrade. Mattel got a nice upgrade from Morgan Stanley. I would look at that one if I were you. DNA is doing another collaboration, this time with Pfizer. The stock always pops and fails. iPaper got an upgrade. The Peloton co-founder was basically booted out of the company and replaced. Cliff is raising the prices of hot rolled steel. Another inflationary situation there. OVV buyback comes back. They're restarting their buyback. PLTR got a $250 million contract. On the negative side, you got Costco. Every analyst is pushing the stock, even though whatever, it came in a little soft. FFIE is doing that, the market equity offering. Morph, this is the kiss of death. CEO is taking a medical leave. You know what that means to me, Guy? That the situation, all the accusations about them inflating and lying and everything is probably true. Okay? When a guy takes a medical leave, he can't handle the pressure anymore. You remember the PGA guy took a medical leave when he merged the company with that, the Saudi golf thing. They just can't handle the pressure and they walk. All right. And anyway, so I think the market rallies. I would be, maybe it rallies for a day, maybe it rallies for two, but I'll be looking for a rollover. Okay. I don't think this is a great position to buy them. I think there's a lot of negative things, including most importantly, rates not coming in any. And we'll see what happens. All right. So that's it for me. I'm going to pass it to my man Spartan, and let's have a good day, guys.
All right, thank you, South Beach. Morning, guys. What's up? What's going on? Just this thing. Second. Okay, so a couple different things, guys. If you need to chat, have you done so, make sure to click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. Pop in a chat. It looks something a little bit like this. First area to go to when you guys do come in, click on that disclaimer section, give it a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section. Scroll to the very, very top. Top of the section, you got a link to the disclaimer as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both. In regards to risk reward, guys, most important ratio in trading, so definitely worth checking out in that regard. Continue to scroll down. We have the summary of how this chat works, breaks how everything works on the left hand side, so you can probably navigate your chat throughout the day. Important, so you know where to be looking. Continue to scroll down. How to read alerts on the option and equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Below this, options rules that are used Monday to Thursday in regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, trading different price contracts, etc., etc. SPX rules right below that. For the SPX ideas, continue to scroll down with any of the small account, less than 10K, breaking down if you do a smaller account, less than 10K. Here's some rules, information, discipline you can put in place. You have a better chance of managing that account. How to pick ideas from an options or record perspective below that. And lastly, high conviction small account trades posted in that area when they do make sense. All right, let's take a look at what we got going on today, guys. Pre-market tickers on watch. A couple different things. Tesla, Costco, MSTR, NEP, BHVN, and NYC. So Tesla gapping up in sympathy with the market, Costco gapping up in earnings, MSTR gapping up in sympathy with the Bitcoin, NEP. Partners with NEP. Next Era Energy Partner revises limited partner distribution per unit growth expectations 5 to 8% a year, gapping down on that. BHVN, basically they reported updates for the BHV 1300 showing greater than 90% reductions in LGG after repeat dosing, gapping up on that. And then NYC announced today that it launched a tender offer to purchase up to 350,000 shares of American Strategic Investment Company common stock at a price of $10.25 per share. Give me 1 sec, guys. Alrighty, so first year we're gonna be looking at today, guys, we got Tesla and that Costco. So Tesla 247.45 pivot level holds 256.32 to 266.28. Unable to hold 240.25 to 233.71 on the downside. Going to be leaning on the bullish neutral side of Tesla there, looking for a continuation push higher if that pivot point's able to hold. Costco 543.43 pivot to the downside today, unable to hold 539.83 to 537.22, able to hold 545.92 to 549.52 on the upside. Going to be leaning on the bearish neutral side there, looking for continuation lower if the pivot point is unable to hold. MSTR and NEP, let's have a look at these two. MSTR pivot to the upside today, 321.18, level holds 328.44, 336.31. Unable to hold 314.22 to 305.85 on the downside will be tested. Overall on MSTR, going to be leading bullish neutral if that pivot point is able to hold. NEP, NEP, pivot to the downside today, 40.68, unable to hold 39.39. 39.29 to 37.94, able to hold 42.52 to 44.18 on the upside. Overall, NEP going to be leaning bearish neutral, looking for continuation lower if the pivot point is unable to hold as well. Let's look at BHVN. Let's look at NYC. BHVN pivot to the upside today is going to be that 2008 spot. Level holds 2098, 2187, unable to hold 1927 to 1850 on the downside. Overall on BHVN, going to be leaning bullish neutral there. NYC 894 pivot level holds 953, 1021. unable to hold 847 to 799 on the downside and leading bullish for there as well. SPY and FANG, my friends, let's take a gander at that. So market lightly extended to the downside here. Not a terrible look. If we can get back above this pivot, which is 428.41, I'm going to type this out as I usually do. So SPY 428.21 pivot to the upside today. This level holds from higher into the 429.84 resistance. Breaks, we see the 431.39 tested. Pivot, unable to hold from lower into the 425.94 support. Breaks, we see the 422.98 tested, meaning bullish neutral. If pivot can hold. And then looking for a rollover. So basically what I want to see is a bounce this morning, then a rollover in the afternoon. We'll see if, that's the case. Maybe we hold up, we actually get a little bit more of a push, but kind of what my thought process is at the moment. Basically gap fill and then rollover. So let's take a look at the rest of the thing here. Apple pivot upside today is going to be the 170, 191 level holds 173.75, 176.82, and I hold 170.34 on the downside. Going to be leading bullish neutral there. Amazon pivot is going to be 125.24 level holds 127.12, 128.94. I able to hold 122.62 on the downside, leading bullish neutral there as well. Let's take a look at Netflix. Pivot to the upside today. 381.10 level hold 387.88 to 395.22, unable to hold 376.99 to 369.65 on the downside, leaning on the bullish neutral side there if you can get above that pivot. Let's take a look at Meta. I'm sorry, I'm leaning bearish neutral on Amazon, FYI. Meta 331 pivot level holds 302.70 to the 305.47, unable to hold 296.18 to 292.97, leading bullish neutral. A little bit of a downtrend break there, short term. Last but not least, guys, Google pivot to the upside today, or downside, I should say, 129.03, unable to hold. So we got room back towards that 126.27 to 125.27. Able to hold. We got able to push to 130.71 to 132.23 on the upside, leading bearish neutral on that. Let's take a look at VIX, Qs, and IWM. So VIX, guys, 1811 pivot level holds 1866, 1930, unable to hold 1771 to 1702 downside. Not leaning any particular direction there. QQQs, 355.54 pivot level holds 58.70, 362.53, unable to hold 353.02 to 350.49 on the downside. Going to be leaning on the bullish neutral side of the Qs as well if the pivot point can hold out the gate. Then I'd be looking for a little bit of a rollover, and then SPX would be the exact same thing as the SPY, guys, which is leaning bullish neutral at the gate with and then looking for a rollover. Pivot though is going to be 42.58 level holds 43.01, 43.32 unable holds 42.32. Basically, we just kind of retest that pivot if we're unable to hold. So that's a SPY. That's the thing. Those are the individual names we're looking at today, my friends. So it should be an interesting one. We'll see what happens. Market obviously in an interesting spot at the moment, and we'll see whether or not we actually continue to bounce off this weekly range or we roll over. Big level.